All right, guys, rocking and rolling here. More Blitz World Series action coming at you here in the Pro Division. We're in the Thrifty 3 right now. Zed, Zain, and Ed are all playing each other once to see who can work on to the Super 6. Of course, from the Super 6, the winners go down to the Final 4 with the Octo Kid and the Goat. So, Zed, Zain, and Ed, the 3 lowest ranking pros in the division. They're in their own little bracket here, battling to move on. So far, Ed came off a loss here to Zed. It was a really funny match. Ed definitely threw some games, but today we were gonna have the winner play Zain, but they all have to play each other anyway. Ed said he was hungry, so we're gonna let Ed try to redeem himself right here. So we got Ed in red fighting out of the US of A on the right. We got Zain in yellow fighting out of Pakistan on the left. So yeah, so we'll see if Ed threw a couple really crazy games versus Zed. So we'll see if he can. We'll see if Ed can make a comeback. Man, that was a wild series. I'm still feeling it. All right, let's get it going. Well played, Zed. Well played, buddy. All right, so yeah, we'll see. So Zain, so for you guys, you know, if you guys are more Blitz followers, Zain is a traditional player. People know him. He's been around for a long time. But in Blitz, he played early on. He won the Kong map, what was that, 8 months ago or something? And then he took the last few months off, so he hasn't really been around much, but definitely a top-level traditional player. And was a great Blitz player, but he's just kind of been out of it for a little while. You can see him just kind of shaking off some of the dust. So I'm not sure how much he's been playing this map, but we'll see if he can put on a show here. We'll see if Ed can hang on here in the Thrifty 3. If you do get 2 losses, you're automatically out. So yeah, Ed's fighting to stay alive here. So Zain brings in that Paradrop, has a Desolator in that group as well. Ed trying to play more defensive here. He's another bunker out. He does get a couple guys in it. They aren't able to get much done though. Yeah, and the Desolator's in this group as well, so Ed, oh, very nice tank control to hit those infantry, but Ed is behind here. See if Ed can get, Ed has the money. Another sentry gun should be joining this party here shortly. The Desolator's helping. People underestimate the Deso gun actually does do pretty good work on tanks, even undeployed, and that Desolator gets in very nice unit control here from Zain. And I think Zain taking it personally that he was put in the Thrifty 3 division and trying to prove himself as being a bona fide Super 6 pro player here, and looking very tough in this first point with another fairly decisive victory. Should be, but we'll see. I've called a couple ones wrong already today. Zain now has his he's sending more conscripts in. He's happy to go up to that top level, use the tanks he has left to kind of clean out this expansion. And Ed quite a bit behind here without tanks. You know, pumping more bunkers, just trying to stay alive. But you guys know in Blitz, it's tough. Staying alive is it's about a quarter of the battle. You know, the other 75% is counter-punching, making offensive moves, and keeping yourself in the game. And right now, Ed's definitely all defense. He's contained himself. He has a very tight walnut-sized base right now, which makes it very tricky. All right. Quick reminder, guys. The Blitz quick match coming August 1st. You guys can queue up instantly, match up with players of your own skill level, play 1v1 Blitz games anytime of the day or night. It's going to be awesome. Get excited for it August 1st. It's coming out. It's going to be great. You can play for fun, or you can climb the ladder, try to win cash prizes. Stay tuned. Circled his own MCV and oils. Yeah, Ed has an oil wall around his MCV right now, and here comes the Dreadnought. That's going to be the nail in the coffin. He could counter though. The flak tracks are out now. Kirov, Dreadnoughts, yep. Get some nice chain reactions here. Okay, so he does counter that Dreadnought, but Ed just doesn't, there's really nothing to be done here, other than try to die slowly so that you don't bring the tilt into the next game. All right, Pav, how you feeling about the Blitz quick match ladder? Where do you see yourself at the end of August? Are you thinking like PAF top 10? Is PAF Airways top 20? Is PAF Airways top 5? What do you think? And Ed tries to go for a base trade. GG's. Ooh, top one. PAF Airways coming for that #1 spot. I like that. I like that. Zed, because you guys are in the Thrifty 3. Zed. Now, Zed, if you didn't want to be in the Thrifty 3, you shouldn't have got 5-0'd last month in the Super 6. Oh. Poor Zed. All right. I think Zed threw those games, so I would drop him down to D1 so we could try to win more money. I know his tricks, though. That's why I made up the Thrifty 3. All right. So, point number 2 here, Allied versus Allied. I think that first matchup, So versus So, is probably where Ed's at his least favorable. It's kind of a curveball player. You know, when you play the game for 20 years nonstop like Ed, you get bored. You're not like, oh, I'm going to mass rhinos. He's like, dude, I got bored of massing rhinos a decade ago. So Ed's more of a Wile E. Coyote, seat of your pants kind of player. And you give him Allied, you know, he's got a little more things, wacky things at his disposal. He's a fan of the GI Rush, etc., etc. Well, 5-0's a 5-0, Zed. You did play good. Luck. Ah, it's luck. All right, so yeah, so we are going to see this. So I think we will see this quite a bit this month with the Allied. So you're going to bring the GIs in. You have a sniper to back. Ooh, Sniper Wars. Okay, this sniper has the higher ground. Sniper has the higher ground. They melt the pillbox, and this is exactly what Ed needs to get. These GIs are not cheap, guys. You got to get some value out of this here. Gonna go straight for the MCV. The sniper does get run over. Takes the power plant first. Oh, nice unit control from Ed there. You saw him spread those GIs. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So decent value there. Hitting the power plant. It forces him low power. It's going to slow down his production. Ah, there. Ed doesn't have anything on the back end. Never mind. So now if Ed had like, yeah, if I would have liked to have seen Ed combine that with some tanks or something on the back end, because that should have given him a mild edge. Look at Zain microing this IFV. Gonna destroy all those Rockies. Ooh, GI's on the cliff. Wow. Bad spot for an AFC. Can he get that? Ed making nice value out of his paradrops here. Now Ed in with a few Grizzlies. Okay, all right. Forces the cell in the War Factory. Should be a GG easy no re. Paradrop in the, from Zain in the back of Ed's base. Nice. All right, so Ed takes one home, and it's exactly what we talked about. The Hail Marys, the wacky stuff from Ed. Yeah, I think we will be seeing that from Allied. You bring the GIs over that hill. You bring the sniper in as well. You take advantage of the higher ground. You try to slowly edge people out. Very nice unit control from Ed there. I think I got the replay of that. So watch his GIs come in. They melt. They take out the sniper. Targets the barracks, so forces the cell. Now, when this tank comes in, watch this. He undeploys. Wait, did I miss this already? Yeah, undeploys, hits the X key to spread them, and then redeploys them. Very, very nice move. That's the X key, guys. We're gonna make a video on hotkeys for you new players, eventually. Ooh, little secret sauce for Ed. That's just what he needs.
Warning, genetic mutator detected.
Yeah, presumably Snark made his own video of hotkeys, but who knows where it is. I'd like to make a specific Blitz video, though, for newer players that focuses on, like, Blitz tactics, etc., those kind of things. No, I'm not a Twitch partner. You need to average 75 viewers per stream to be a Twitch partner. So, hey, tell all your friends. Tell all your friends. Come follow me. Woo! All right. So Soviet versus Allied now. Zain obviously be very comfortable here, top level Soviet player. So Ed, it's tricky, you know. Ed. I think Ed's biggest problem is he's got a wonderful bag of tricks, but it's hard to get more than a few tricks in per series. Winning that GI rush, it's hard to do it again. You know, Ed can't really do the exact same thing over again. So you know, that's kind of the difficult part in a longer series. The tricks get a little bit less value out of them, but it was a good play to put one on the board. Oh, Zap. Oh, Matt said he was going to upload Snark's hotkey video. That'd be good. Yeah, I want to make a video too, kind of an intro to Blitz as well, just kind of going over build orders, things like that, considerations, general tactics for newer players. 'Cause that's what it's all about, getting newer players in here. Speaking of which, join the Discord. Tournament, divisions for everybody, cash prizes, any skill level. I mean that. Even if you don't even know how to play the game, come play. We got a division for you. It'll be fun. That's what it's all about. More players. Ari to the moon. Yeah, so interesting to see Zain not trying to get any early value here against the Allied player. That's kind of the meta right now, Soviet versus Allied in Blitz, is to try to take advantage of your Rhinos early on to get something done. Very nice move from Ed there, choosing to not try to dive on that oil. All of his tanks would got melted. Ed now engaging with these. Oh, and falls back. He gets the paradrop walked in, and Ed is doing work with this paradrop today, guys. We're going to see this all month long, these Allied players. Double paradrops are so nasty. These GIs, you know, properly managed, can get a lot done here. So Ed is going to take this oil, needs to be careful here. Eagles coming in for support. Ed has a split going on, couple Grizzlies on the bottom side, maybe to harass the power, possibly go up for the barracks, but he needs to be careful because, yeah, so he does get outgunned thanks to that sentry. Another paradrop coming. Can he melt this airport? Would be nice if he could. Splits him up. He's now harassing the power on the bottom side. So I love this. This is like death by 1,000 paper cuts for Zain. Ed's coming at him from all sides. Now Ed just needs to make sure he has enough on the backside to hold off a counter punch. Someone drop an exclamation mark blitz for Terran Raptor. Very, very nice. So now here comes the counter punch. Pillbox on the hill. Nice placement from Ed. I'm surprised Zain took the bait there and waited for it. Another paradrop from Ed on the backside, and Ed not using any of his paradrops defensively. Very interesting. Ed, very beautiful. Really like this control of using these Grizzlies. Grizzlies, there's a reason we call them plastics. They are useless. They take a lot of hand-holding to get value out of them, and I like this from Ed. Ed in a good spot now, just needs to make sure doesn't overextend himself or get him caught in between too many sentry guns. Pushing in now, he's got a tank destroyer in this mix. Tank destroyer is now shooting the war factory. Ed gonna dive on this war factory. Rocky in there as well, does get a flak track out, and the elite Grizzly joins the party. Very, very nice for Ed, working those GIs in as well. These GIs are just so nasty. 4 Eagles coming in, should take the barracks. Yep, takes the barracks out and hits a Rhino. Ed looking nice and warmed up now. Yeah, it's only in this mod though, for the record. Now you know, Terran Raptor. Now you know what's going on, buddy. Come join the tournament next month. It'll be awesome. You'll love it. Wow, very well played. Very well played from Ed. Yeah, Ed looking warmed up now. Ed's working a very nice Allied. Now the question is, what's Ed's Soviet look gonna be like? Because Ed, I love Ed's Allied. That point, obviously he's on 4 losses on the day, but very nice Allied there. Yeah, and so I think, you know, we will see, it's interesting, you know, we're gonna have 18 pro matches this month. And so to watch the meta of this map develop throughout the month, it'll be very interesting. And I think that we will find that the Soviet player early on getting map control and destroying that airport early on, because the double paradrops is like, I mean, you have to just perma-deso your base to not have to worry about it. So I think trying to harass the airport early on could be a pretty big move. Money this month is $350 going out in prizes. 7 divisions. We got free-for-all and team events, and the pro events running all month long. Lots of fun stuff going on. Okay, so now Soviet versus Allied. We'll see what Ed decides to bring here. So Zain gonna go right. So Zain was able to get control of Ed's tent. That's very frustrating. You want to just send at least 1 unit to take these tents. There's no reason to lose. It's just a foot race. You should never ever let your opponent take your tent on this map. So Zain does pull back to his tent though. bit annoying. I mean, Ed will have to deal with this at one point, but these tents are pretty weak late game. It's just early game they do mess things up a little bit. So we are going to see Ed go up to the corner and harass that airport. I think he realizes how valuable it was for him, and he doesn't want to let Zain pull the same maneuver on him. So he's bringing all of his rhinos up. He is going to attack this airport. A Rocky's on the way. We'll see how quick Ed can get a flak track up. Pillbox out now. Yeah, so he's going to take the pillbox. Yeah, and so that chip damage from the Rockies, very nice here. And Ed's still not going to bring... Ed not bringing a flak track up. Another Rhino coming now. Yeah, and so another pillbox. So Ed... So this is pretty nice, though. He baited quite a few pillboxes up there. That's going to throw off Zain's economy. Zain having to build a lot of pillboxes right now. And this is how you want to play Soviet. The early harassment, throw the Allied out of their element. Force them to overcommit defensively, force them to use their paradrop defensively, and use the Soviet strength early on. So I like that from Ed. Didn't get an immense amount of value, but definitely fine. Here comes a kind of a scary amount of Grizzlies. Oh, and Ed's kind of out of position right now. I'm surprised we did not see Ed pulling back to help defend. Ed's basically accepting a bit of a base trade here. Ed does have the money. There should be some sentry guns popping up. Nothing coming out of Ed's barracks. And now with that paradrop joining, and Ed's down to 2 tanks on the left side. Yeah, and Ed's pretty much got nothing left to give here. Zain gonna push in. Yeah, gonna be GG. Yeah, so that was interesting. I think I liked, so you go for the airport, and yeah, like, so there, he went for the airport. Zain dropped a paradrop and built 3 pillboxes, I brought the Rockies. So Ed wasn't able to get the airport. If he would have...
Oh my God, what a barn burner.
It is a barn burner, I almost forgot. Thanks, Twin Ivor. So he went up to get that airport. Zain super overcommitted, really committed to the defense. Ed wasn't able to get it. And so at that point, I think Ed had thrown him off a little bit. His economy was a little bit off. He snuck down then, took out a few more pillboxes, And I think that was decent for Ed, but Ed probably needed to pull back in that position and then try to get another leg up, but just kind of bit off a little bit more than he can chew. Anyway, damn, I don't have the no timer yet. All right, guys, barn burner action coming at you here. 2-2 in this wacky series so far. Both players playing really, really good. Wait, did Ed just choose Soviet and Zain chose Allied? This is the factions they wanted? Wait, Ed's wrecking with Allied. This is very odd. So in match number 5, obviously, or point number 5, you guys know they got to choose their own factions, and they've chosen to keep these same factions moving into this game. I'm not sure what Ed has up his sleeve, but hey, Papa Ed, he's been doing it for 20 years. Don't question Ed. Rule number 1. That's true, Zed. That was a weird time, huh? Algeria to Los Angeles. We both spilled water on ourselves at the same time. So Ed, conscripts coming over. Ed's gearing up the conscripts. Ed just wants to bring... Ed, I love all gas, no brakes, man. Ed, point number 5, Ed's running on spit and adrenaline. Coming right for it. So we'll see. We'll see how Zain counters here. Zain might not have that part of the map scouted, and Ed sells the MCV. Let's go, boys. Conscripts, they're gonna melt that pillbox. Another pillbox coming. Ed has to be so careful to not let these Grizzlies run over all of his pillbox, all of his conscripts. Ed's still pushing in. Ed's still pushing in. The conscripts are getting shipped away, though. The Rockies are doing work now. And Zain's broke. Another pillbox will not be coming. Zain is broke. Ed, he does get another. Zain gets another pillbox out. So now he hits the barracks, cancels the next pillbox. Oh, but the GIs, the defensive GIs are in. And the paradrop, the defensive paradrop, Zain has nothing left, but Ed doesn't have an MCV. Ed's broke. Ed sends a paradrop down. Yep, and Yeah, well, that's why you call it selling the farm, right? You sell the farm, you buy whatever you can, and when you sell the farm, you can't grow any more food. That's it. You sell the farm. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Oh, what a wacky series. Ed, do you want to play Zain right now? Ed, hey, you know what? You know what, Papa Ed? I wouldn't have it any other way. People say you have two options. Ed can play serious and win, or Ed can do a bunch of wild stuff and entertain you. I always choose option number two. Always choose option number two.